I've been playing The Witness. I will say I'm about. So I'm gonna say this is, if we do put this up as a separate YouTube video, this is gonna be Witness impressions. First thing I do want to get out of the way, there was, I think we talked about this. We must have talked about this last podcast. It was just a little bit that like everyone was like, The Witness is gonna be $40. Like, oof, I don't know if that game's worth $40. That game is a $40 game. It's
See, and that's what I've
huge.
heard too, is with the size and the scale and just how everything plays and the way
Yeah.
it's set up, it's definitely worth that, which is cool. And I think a lot of people had Braid in their minds. I would be pretty disappointed if I paid $40 for Braid.
Yeah, it's the thing that's really hard to talk about this game is like just the talking about the game sounds very boring. Like
But
because one of the things I
what
was worried about going this game is like, oh crap, I hope it's not just these line puzzles. And it is, sort of. So I was trying to figure out a way to actually, because I knew I was going to talk about The Witness for this podcast, and I said this last time because we do the outlines. Of course I know.
you're so good at this today.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of people, I remember reading comments before it came out to be like, oh, I could just play this game on my cell phone. Like, what would be the point of it? It's like, okay, the kind of way it's like, okay, let's say you're sitting in your living room playing a cell phone game where you just had to draw lines and do maze puzzles like you saw in the trailers for The Witness. But the solution to the puzzle isn't even looking at your phone. It might be going around the room, like looking at like certain objects, and like that's the way to solve the puzzle. It kind of like the whole fact it's like these line puzzles that are set into the environment, and the environment is the way to solve them. So sometimes it is just like a simple line puzzle, like just draw from point A to point B. But sometimes like you'll notice kind of like a weird shape in the environment, like what is that? And then like as you're doing the puzzle, you're sort of seeing these patterns between the environment and the puzzle that you're doing, and you realize like, oh wait, this is how I solve the puzzle because I'm learning looking at the environment and observing the environment.
I don't like this game.
Oh no, you won't. You won't. People won't.
I already don't like the sound of that. Like
No,
Portal is as abstract as I can get when it comes to puzzle solving games.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would like this game. I think that actually this game kind of reminded me of, we talked about this on the podcast a long time ago. Do you remember that one game, Proteus? I'm going to say game loosely on this one.
Oh, is that the Vita game that's...
Yeah, yeah. You walk around like an island that's like kind of generated.
And you don't do anything.
And you don't do anything. It's that, but you do a lot of things. It's that sort of... If you haven't played Proteus, Proteus is a game where you just sort of walk around an island and you just sort of like absorb the environment. You kind of like found things and things like that. This game is basically you just walk around the environment. And you explore. Like, I just love that aspect of it. It's just you kind of... We talked about Xenoblade, how we like that sort of exploration aspect of Xenoblade, like, because you really don't know what's coming next. It is really neat that you're kind of exploring this desolate island that's really, really gorgeous, too. It has a really neat art style. It's kind of... It looks really pretty, but also sort of low poly, kind of, but not really. It's kind of hard to describe. It kind of looks like a... I don't know. It kind of looks like a painting. Which is not hyperbole. It really does look like a painting. Like these kind of like sometimes be these like really simple shapes, but the lighting makes it look all like really, really gorgeous. The puzzle solving in this is effing amazing. It is so good because every set of puzzles, like if you watch some trailers for it, you'll notice that the panels are different colors, and different color panels have like different ways to solve them. And I don't want to spoil. I'm trying not to spoil anything with this game because it's really good to just go in blind. But every puzzle, just the solutions are so unique. And like when you walk up to a puzzle, it doesn't really tell you how to solve it. You sort of have to figure out how to solve it. Sometimes they'll kind of give you training puzzles. They'll give you like 5 puzzles right in a row. They're all kind of that kind of show you how that concept works. And sometimes like you just won't. Like you won't have that like nice like progression where it's just like here's the easy puzzle and now here's like a sort of harder puzzle and you can see how the logic flows. Sometimes you just come upon a puzzle and you have like no idea how to solve it.
Do these all have different mechanics then? Or is it all the same mechanic and you're just using that mechanic in different ways?
I mean, it is the same mechanic of drawing a line.
Okay.
But, like, I guess a quick example was there was a board I had, and I had to turn on different lights. And as I was turning on different lights, the board was showing me something slightly different.
But I don't like this game.
No, you probably wouldn't like this game. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you like environmental puzzle games, like if you like Portal and you love that sort. I'd say if you like Fez, if you like Portal, if you like, I'm trying to think. There's not many environmental puzzle games.
But now I'm conflicted because I like Fez, and I like Portal.
So why is this game making you flinch then?
Because it's 40 hours of it. I think it's that time period doing it. Fez I never finished. I got like 3/4 of the way through Fez, and I think you get to one point where it's like, now you need 120 more or something ridiculous
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I think I got
And
to
I
a
hit that
similar
point and
part.
just went, nope. Mm-mm. I did enough of this. And Portal is great because it's about 6 hours, and I can go, okay, I can do 6 hours of this puzzle solving thing. But just the idea of 40 hours of line puzzles, and the fact that they're going to get more challenging as you go, and
Yeah.
just basically to me, it's I'm gonna play the game for 3 hours, get to the point where I go, God, I hate this. Get a guide, use a guide for 10 hours, and go, well, I'm basically just cheating through this anyway.
Yeah, well, the thing that's kind of cool is that the difficulty, it kind of resets every time you come upon like a new puzzle, because you have to learn a new mechanic. So it's not like the game just like it starts out easy and then it gets progressively harder. It starts out easy, gets like to medium hard difficulty, and then you switch over to a new type of puzzle.
Oh,
So then it kind of restarts. So now it's like because it kind of needs to ease you into that new mechanic, ease you into that new mechanic.
huh.
So it's kind of cool. So sometimes like there were certain puzzle sequences that I had no problem with. Super easy, just kind of blew through them. There's other ones that I actually had to sit down and like start pulling out a pen and paper, which I love. I love pulling out pen and paper to figure out stuff. And
That's a line for me that I'm not going to cross.
what? Why is it so bad? What's so wrong with pulling out a pen and paper?
I don't. That just if I'm. I guess to me, I should not be being frustrated by things, and I guess this kind of goes back to my point with Bloodborne. If I'm playing a game, I'm not playing a game to be frustrated. I'm playing a game to have fun, to enjoy it. I don't enjoy being frustrated. I enjoy being challenged,
Yeah.
but I don't enjoy being angry and frustrated because I just am not thinking about something the right way.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing too. Like I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing: because it's open world, I've done that. I actually did this a few times. I got to a puzzle. I was like, I just don't want to solve this right now. You can just walk away and just go to another area
oh,
and start solving puzzles there. Like it is open world. Like you just go. So
so
like
is there any sense of progression, or is it just you wander and
no, I mean
go
there's
through
progression.
puzzles?
Like once you get to the end of a puzzle sequence, like there's a pretty clear thing that happens. Don't not spoiling. There's a pretty clear thing that's like you are now done with this sequence of puzzles. But
Okay.
the one thing I don't like when it comes to these line puzzles is sometimes they'll just get more complex with the same mechanic, and I didn't like that. Where it's kind of like you start on like say a 6x6 grid, but like the final puzzle's a 10x10 grid. I didn't really like that, but I kind of come upon that and I was like, I just don't really want to solve this. I understand how this mechanic works, but I've been kind of working on the same mechanic for like 15, 20 minutes. I think I'm just going to go somewhere else for a while. And you just can just go somewhere else and you learn a whole new mechanic. So it's pretty cool. So like you can basically think of like each new mechanic as like a new level, and you can go like all the way through the level if you want, or go halfway through the level and then go find another level that you want to go explore, and then go halfway or all the way through that.
See, that's interesting because that alone right there sells it to me. Because in my mind, I can go, I can do the 2 easy puzzles in every like level.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, you can, but it's like there is something that's just like, ooh, I do want to solve it. But and if you do get frustrated, like I said, yeah, like you're saying, you can just walk away if you want to. I mean, if you just do the easy ones, like you'll learn the mechanic, but you're not going to complete that sequence. But you can, like I said, you can always come back,
Come back
later. And sometimes they will throw puzzles at you that you will not know how to solve at that point in time. Like this is a really minor spoiler. Like as soon as you kind of get into the open area, there's a door with this really crazy grid on it that I had no idea what the hell to do. I was like, I'm not even going to touch this. I'll just come back later. And I did finally figure out how that mechanic worked, and I went back. I don't think I've gone back yet, but like I know how to do that mechanic now, so I can go back to that area if I want to.
Oh man, see, I'm so on the fence with this because
And I know for you, $40 is not an on the fence game.
what do you mean?
Like, would you spend $40 on it? You don't know one way or the other.
Probably not, but it's one of those things where I'm just looking at it going, I feel like I would enjoy this for a set amount of time, but I'd have to buy it knowing that I'm never going to finish this. I'm never going to get anywhere near completing this game.
Yeah.
And that always makes me hesitate just because I don't like having something sitting there going like, oh yeah, hey, there's Xenoblade and I'm halfway through it. I will be halfway through it forever. Not Xenoblade. I'm going to finish that game. I almost got my scale. I'm really excited. That's all I'm going to talk about Xenoblade.
All right. Yeah, I can understand that. It does feel like kind of an investment, although it doesn't feel like as big an investment as, say, something like The Witcher, or like as the other games I can compare it to right now. Is I have The Witcher and Far Cry 4, and like those games, I know I'm definitely never going to complete. But this one, I feel like I think it's just because it constantly has you thinking in different ways that it keeps it fresh instead of just being that because I feel like with Far Cry, like, okay, I kind of get what Far Cry is. It's going to be Far Cry for the next 30 hours. But for this one,
Yeah.
like, I really don't know what's going to happen next. And I like that sort of, and that's the thing I like about Bloodborne too. When I talk about, there's this constantly changing expectations for the game, and I really liked it. I think if you're really on the fence, if you think you might like this game, but the $40 is holding you back, just go get it. It's worth $40. It is a really big game. If you liked Myst, you should absolutely get this game. If you thought Myst was too hard, you should still get this game. It's not as complicated as Myst. I don't know.
If you never played
Myst,
Myst,
what?
if you never played Myst,
Oh, if you never played Myst, but you like Portal, if you like Portal, then you should get this game. If you like Fez, you should get this game. There's no narrative though. I mean, there is a narrative, but it's like super hidden. I haven't quite figured out what the hell's going on, but that's okay.
oh, so like no plot at all. It's just like go wander your island and solve your puzzles.
I mean, you don't even, yeah, kind of. I mean, there might be a plot. I'm sure there's a plot, and I'm just like not getting it quite yet because like there's a lot of like drawings and stuff around the island. It's like, okay, I'm sure this is all adding up to something. So
Yeah, as you go through and finish it up.
yeah, it is kind of cool. Like last night I found sort of I looked at some, like I was doing like a series of puzzles, and I was like looking around my environment trying to figure out something. I was like, wait, what is that over there? And I found like a secret puzzle, and a secret puzzle unlocked this whole other area. I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's just kind of a cool game that I feel like is one of the few games where you are rewarded for trying to out clever it, because that is the way to do it. Like you can't, like, if you're not thinking too hard about these puzzles, this is how you solve them.